Hello everybody and welcome back to Elventure. My name's Alex, and today, as you can see, we're going to jump into some Destiny 2, and specifically Destiny's new Warmind expansion. Now, I feel like there's a little bit of an elephant in the room that I kind of want to talk about just a little bit before we start. Whenever you talk about a Destiny game, a lot of people kind of get turned off because their pricing model is really steep. And they've been criticized a lot, and in a lot of cases rightfully so, for kind of outcasting a lot of their community by having a lot of this mandatory expansion pack, and kind of locking people out of content if they don't get the very pricey expansion packs. But ultimately, I feel like it's up to each consumer, you guys out there, and myself, to determine if the content is worthwhile for you. And for me personally, I love Destiny. I love the world that they built. I love the gameplay. So I definitely wanted to cover this, and I was very excited to jump into this. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I know what you're thinking. My character looks like Obi-Wan, and yes, that is awesome. So this DLC takes place on Mars. I don't know too much about it. I know that there's a hunter on Mars who asks for your help, and it has something to do with Rasputin, the Warmind, that we've known since the beginning of Destiny 1. So I'm excited to see, kind of what Rasputin's story is in this one, because it's always been an element of the lore that we haven't really gotten a lot of answers on yet.
Life is a delicate thing, Guardian. Hope, faith, love. In an instant, they're gone. Everything you've sworn to protect is lost. And all you're left with is silence and shadow, and the knowledge that you should have done more. Could we have defeated Gaul if the Traveler hadn't awakened? And what of the next threat? Or the next? What then? The Traveler is awake, and the age of legends is upon us. In the shadow of the light, our universe is a beautiful, terrible place. Where I once saw miracles, now I see monsters. Someone has to. We have to. That's what a Guardian does.
I do like the art style that they have for the cutscenes in Destiny 2. It's only like at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of each of the expansions, but it kind of has that like hand-drawn, black and white cartoon type of feel, or like artist-drawn, I guess.
Guardians aren't supposed to investigate their past. That's the rule. But I'm not good with rules. Not when there's this much at stake. The Clovis Bray tech in that building allowed us to colonize the system during the Golden Age. They, sought to create peace
Anastasia
for all
Bray.
humanity. Which is ironic, because they also built Rasputin, the single most powerful weapon in the solar system. Either way, it's all been entombed on Mars since the collapse. Along with something far more terrifying.
She looks cool. I'm jealous of hunters. They're really awesome. I main Warlock, but I have to admit that hunters are probably the most stylish and coolest looking of all the classes in Destiny. Cool. So it looks like Mars is like a frozen landscape, which is kind of nice because we didn't have too many frozen landscapes in the base game for Destiny 2. Kind of reminds me of like the what do you call it? The last one, the last expansion that came out for Destiny 1, with the Iron Lords.
Mars, the first place where humanity encountered the Traveler. Home to the Clovis Bray Research Facility and lost wonders of the Golden Age.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they found the Traveler
The ice
on
caps
Mars.
have
That's
kept
cool.
those wonders hidden for hundreds of years. But the return of the Traveler's light has sounded an alarm heard throughout the system and perhaps beyond.
Also, I just got the ship a couple days ago. It kind of looks like a stingray, but I like it. I should also mention I'm not like a maxed out light level or anything like that. I basically haven't played Destiny 2 almost at all since like I beat the original game, or since I beat Destiny 2, I mean the base game. And then I just came back a few days ago for the first DLC, and I kind of tried to rush my way through that so I could be prepared for this one.
Are falling out of orbit near Mars. The Cabal are headed there too. I'll plot a landing course.
And yeah, my character's hair looks really dumb. The hair physics and just the look of the hair itself is terrible.
Vanguard access code 030. Get away from my ghost, you frozen. Guardian requesting backup. I repeat, I need backup down here.
This frequency is reserved for official Vanguard business. So look, whoever this is...
That's cute. You've got one of the uptight ghosts.
Tight?
I'm uploading coordinates to a safe landing zone. Please hurry.
I will say, from the first game, I really miss when our character had actual voice acting.
I wouldn't have called you down
Your
here
character
unless
is
it was
silent in
absolutely
Destiny
critical.
2, which is
The
fine.
most dangerous weapon in this system is on this planet, and an entire army of Hive is trying to destroy it. I need your help.
But yeah, it was much cooler in Destiny 1 when your character had some voice lines. It wasn't a lot, but it gave your character a little bit more personality, and the voice was different for each race and each gender, which was kind of cool. It added a little bit of customization to your character. Okay, so this is the first mission, Ice and Shadow.
We've touched down on the surface of Mars, Guardian. What's your status? Are you safe?
For now, but there's a whole lot of not safe between us and the Clovis Spray facility, which is where we need to be.
What's so important there?
Warsats, like the one that almost hit you on approach, have been dropping out of the sky since I got here, which usually means only one thing.
Rasputin. The greatest weapon of the Golden Age you were talking about. But that's impossible.
Nothing is impossible where Rasputin is concerned. Meet me at the facility.
Can do. She seems like a cool character so far. I at least like the look of her. Obviously, I don't really know anything about her personality. Oh yeah, and their hive here. I wasted that grenade a little bit. It's alright. I also notice when I play Destiny 2, I'm not sure about you guys, but I reload a lot more often than I need to. Like, I usually don't even empty the clip or anything. I'm kind of like an OCD reloader. Oh, there you are. There we go.
I've never seen Hive like this before.
As far as I know, they don't exist anywhere but here.
I'm also hoping with this series that, for those of you who haven't gotten into Destiny 2 in a long time, because I know it was very, very popular when it first came out, and if I'm not mistaken, the population has gone down a lot in the game. It's still very popular. It's still a AAA game, but I think a lot of people have left because they're either, they can't afford the DLCs and they're kind of pissed off about it, which I understand, or they just kind of have moved on to different games. Both of which very understandable, but I'm hoping that I can help some of you who are interested in Destiny 2 get to kind of witness some of the content and decide for yourselves if it's worth you buying it or not, because it is pretty steep. I think each DLC is about $20 or $35 US altogether if you decide to buy the season pass for both DLCs, which if you're going to buy one in Destiny 2, you're going to want to buy both. because it basically locks you out of a lot of content if you don't have all the DLCs, which is a harsh model, and it definitely is a strange decision, kind of from a publishing standpoint. But I kind of understand why they do it. I mean, Destiny is not the first game to, you know, go by this model, and it's probably not going to be the last either. Because that's just kind of like the shooter market that we live in, and especially with like post-content these days. You know, it's in the game's best interest to try to keep people invested as long as possible, and that's why, in my opinion, that's why post-content is so important to a lot of game developers, because it really extends the longevity of their game. And, you know, we used to play games for like a week or two, and then we kind of move on to something else, but nowadays I think people are having less games and staying with them longer. And for that reason, they cost more. But anyway, you guys didn't come to this video to hear about the economics of games. This is a cool environment, though. I love frozen environments. I'm such a sucker for snowy, frozen environments in games. These guys are new and a little scary. Yeah, my favorite is definitely the Dawnblade. I love Hunters too. I do have a almost fully leveled up Hunter, or they're level 20 now, so they're not really up to date on the DLCs. But Warlock has been my favorite since the first game. They're just, in my opinion, they're the most useful and just the most fun. I love how you can, like, it's kind of like playing a Jedi that also has a gun, because you have like kind of a force push for your melee attack, and you have, you know, grenades that are sort of like more magic-y and just more fun to use in the other classes. And in this game, they have the rifts, which are really nice. You could do a healing rift or an empowering rift. And so in my opinion, they're kind of like the really nice DPS support class, which is cool to play.
He wants the past to stay buried. But we need to get in there to find out what's going on with Rasputin.
Yes, ma'am. I don't have very much experience with Titan. I played a Titan a little bit in the first game. I haven't played Titan at all in Destiny 2. But...
What was that?
What the heck is that thing? Also, I apologize for a little bit of coughing. My voice is a little bit hoarse just from work today. Kids were crazy, and I had to raise my voice a lot. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired today. But that's alright. I'm also pretty bad at shooting games, so if you guys see me suck or if I die or something, and you put that in the comments like you suck or something, I'll probably just agree with you. Because I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm not amazing at shooters, especially multiplayer shooters. I don't really PvP very much, so if I ever PvP in Destiny, I usually get my butt kicked very quickly and very often. PvE in Destiny is not that hard. For the most part. I don't really do like hardcore raiding content or anything, but a lot of the PvE in Destiny is not that bad, especially since you have multiple Guardians with you for most of the time. Interesting, so somehow like the underground area of Mars is frozen, and then on the surface it's dry and deserty like we're used to in real life. Strange, but I've learned better than to question the lore in Destiny. Destiny is one of those games, like, it's so sci-fi that it's almost a trope in and of itself. Like, you need to just accept the fact that it's weird and that there's a lot of random, like, mystical stuff going on. and then it's much more enjoyable, because then you're not trying to, like, reason your way through all of it. What is that guy? Oh, it's like an ogre. Okay. I don't know if I like these sword and shield knight guys. Kind of scary when they're charging you. Oh, and I wasted that grenade too. Holy cow, there's so many of them! Okay, a little bit of a tactical retreat here. Stupid shield. Oh, there you go, you can break it, that's kind of nice to know. Man. Yeah, and I'm probably, I ran through the first DLC in the last couple days here, and I was overpowered for that content because I had my character maxed out at level 20, and that content was very easy for me. And this content I'm going into right around the recommended level for this mission, so it's probably going to be a little bit more challenging, and I may die a few times, so I apologize in advance for that. Man, you guys are like bunnies, you're just coming from everywhere. Or if you live in my area of Denver, you're like prairie dogs. Those things are everywhere. There we go. Oh cool, and I leveled up.
Guardian, you still with me?
We're clear. Where to next?
We found a Golden Age research facility buried inside a glacier. Where do you think? Meet me at the entrance to Clovis Bray.
Here? Oh, there we go. I was like, I'm here! I'm at the gate, let me in! Nice! There she is.
Hey, you made it.
Hey!
Actually, yes. We did.
Well, there were a lot of them. But you did great. Come on, let's see what's hiding in here. Besides hordes and hordes of frozen hive, I mean.
Besides that. My helmet definitely doesn't match, but I'm not cool enough, I'm not high enough level yet to match my entire outfit. That's for later on. So, how are you guys doing? I'm gonna assume good. It's good to hear. Oh, me, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thanks for asking. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so this is the next mission, apparently. Pilgrimage. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave that video there because I guess technically it just jumped us right into the next mission, and I want to make sure that these videos are kind of one mission at a time. That way you guys, it's a little bit shorter for you all, and you get to see kind of one mission at a time how the campaign looks. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm hoping that this series, for those of you who are really interested in Destiny 2, or maybe who already have Destiny 2, and don't want to waste your money but are interested in the DLCs, hopefully this can help you reach that decision whether or not the content looks worthwhile for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all in the next video.